Hi. I think we are live, Flish. Hello, everyone. Welcome to a brand new series, IPL special from Bat Balla. And we are, again, like nostalgia is our theme, so we'll do some IPL nostalgia. We thought we'll, sort of talk about some interesting games and interesting teams, uh, what they have done in the past. IPL is like more than 17 years old now. So,
Yeah.
uh, I mean, 17 years, Sulesh. I mean, it's a long time. We have seen IPL grow like crazy in the
Uh,
last so many years, right?
no, I agree. I mean, see, it's very rare that you end up starting following a league from the beginning, right? Like the Premier League and all is almost 100 years old, and we have come and started following Premier League teams. So is the champion, the La Liga, and all the stuff. But this is a league which we have started from the scratch. We have started supporting teams from the beginning itself, and that's a great like feeling, right? I mean, we've seen it from the start, and we've all had those teams that are favorite teams. We have seen their journeys up and down, and we're here now to discuss one of the all-time great IPL franchises for sure.
Yeah. So let's start with probably one of the most successful. I'll say the most successful if we take
Yeah,
like win divided by
the
number of
playoffs.
seasons played. Yeah, and also
Yeah.
the number of
Okay.
players. So we are talking about none other than Chennai Super Kings. Uh,
Yeah.
Probably the franchise with the most number of followers. I know. I'm sort of sitting with the RCB hardcore RCB fan. But I think Suresh would also agree that the guys in yellow, the yellow army, is like at a different level.
Oh yeah. I mean, see, the rivalry between RCB and CSK is also legendary, right? Not like we have won any trophies, but the match itself is so close. I mean, and whenever RCB team beats a CSK team, it's a different feeling. And why? Because you know that CSK is such a good team, and it's so difficult to beat them. I mean, and they've come and beaten RCB so many times at Chinnaswamy itself. So beating them, beating CSK with Dhoni as a captain is always a special feeling for any team, not just RCB.
No, I think I'll talk about this in detail. I think I have a couple of
Yeah.
games in my mind, when especially this CSK and RCB thing. So I think
Were
let's
you
start
always
from
a
the
CSK fan? Were you always a CSK fan?
yes. So I mean,
Okay.
my thing started. So I have always been a Dhoni fan. So I
Okay.
started following Dhoni since 2003 or four, when he went for that India A tour to Zimbabwe and Kenya, where he scored
Okay.
up two or three hits. After which he got a Indian cap as well. So I've been
Yeah.
following MS Dhoni since then, and been a hardcore fan, and it was a no brainer for me. My support was for MS Dhoni wherever he goes. That was the idea initially, but over the
Okay.
years you sort of realize, although Dhoni is the the bond
Yeah.
of the side, but I think it's much more than MS Dhoni itself. The franchise has grown leaps and bounds. You got some very special players, playing at CSK, the likes of Suresh Raina, Ambati Rayudu. There've been so many of them, Jadeja. But again,
Jadeja.
Dhoni
Yeah.
has been the factor. And if we go back to that 2008 season, so we won the T20 World Cup in 2007, and
Yeah.
when the IPL started, Dhoni in that season was a costliest buy,
Yeah.
and I think he just justified every bit of it. Maiden season, CSK were in the finals. They lost to that amazing Rajasthan side led
Yeah.
by unbelievable Shane Warne in the finals, where they got defeated. And again, the next season, the 2009 season, which happened in South Africa, was also a good season for CSK at an overall level, where Matthew Hayden, I think, was the orange cap holder, and he was just scoring runs, piling up runs for fun. They got knocked out, courtesy that brilliant knock by young Manish Pandey, and
Okay.
yeah, and I think the most one of the most memorable seasons was 2010. I think that's when the real CSK buzz started. We won that particular year, and I remember one particular game which was sort of a do or die game for CSK at Dharamshala against Kings 11 Punjab, which are known as Punjab Kings now,
Oh
where
yeah.
MS took Irfan Pathan down and hit those two massive sixes in the final over to win the game. And I think that was a starting point, because in that 2010 season, Mumbai Indians was playing some great cricket. I think they were top of the charts, and Sachin was in amazing form. He was an orange cap holder, and then in the final, somehow CSK managed to sort of uh, you know get past the line. Uh, but yeah, I think that was a season which, I mean, CSK has is the most consistent side of the tournament. In the past 17 years, I think they have played 15 seasons if we exclude that 2016 and 17 where they were not part of the IPL. And
Yeah.
I think barring three seasons, I think they have made the playoffs in all the other. So 12 on 15 is the conversion rate, which is like amazing and unbelievable.
No, no. That's definitely epic. I mean, that shows consistency, right? And like you said, like Dhoni has led from the front, and you know that if Dhoni is leading a team, like you can't beat them easily. They will come at you how hard they are, and the fact that see whenever you look at a CSK team, right, it's never that great on paper. Even now, that's the case. It's always been the case. But all those players, you feel that they all punch above their weight. I mean, I remember even like you said, Matthew Hayden, and I think what Murli Vijay was his opening partner. Is that
Yep, yep,
correct? Like what a pair, right? I mean, such an unlikely pair. And Murli Vijay also didn't really set the world on fire in terms of cricket or limited overs cricket for India. But an unlikely pair opening up in Chennai, Hayden and Murli Vijay, and then Suresh Raina, of course. I think like they used to call him Mr. IPL, right? Mr. Cricket or Mr. IPL, is what I'm not wrong.
right. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
Correct. And what 400 runs almost every season he has played, I think, some crazy records like that.
yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
consistency was unbelievable for all these players. Yeah.
I mean, Suresh Raina. I mean, the Thala and Chinna Thala story is just
Oh yeah.
amazing. I mean, just come to think of it, there's a couple of North Indians, one from Jharkhand and one from UP, playing for Chennai Super Kings, and they're like their own sons, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that the feeling, the kind of varieties there that is there in the sides, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And I remember in the first, if you talk about, I'll just go back and talk about the first
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
Look at the batting lineup which these guys had. They had Matthew Hayden, they had Suresh Raina, they obviously had MS Dhoni, then they had Michael Hussey in the middle order.
Hmm.
They had Stephen Fleming also at top of the order,
Yeah.
who later
Yeah.
went, went on to become their coach.
Coach.
They had
Yeah.
Andy Morgan, the most successful all rounders in
Yeah.
the Premier, League, right, this thing. And bowling wise, they had Muthaiya Muralidharan. So they always had big names. But again, ऐसा
Yeah.
नहीं है कि they had the like unbelievable bowling attack, and on paper, like you
Yeah.
mentioned, they always tend to punch above their weights, right? Like
Yeah.
you mentioned,
Yeah.
and especially in the starting season, I don't know if they had the balance to win IPL, say in the first 3 or 4 seasons, but that MS Dhoni magic and the way that they carried and they sort of managed their squad is something remarkable.
No, I agree, and that's always been the hallmark of every Chennai squad, right? You can never say that okay, Chennai won't do well. They will do well. It's like how hard can you play to beat them? That's
Yeah.
always been the question. And even like if just quickly I'll mention Raina. I think the greatest innings of IPL I've seen is Raina's that 87. What is that? He scored a full
Oh,
30 balls.
yeah, yeah. So
I have
25,
never
26.
seen more clean hitting in my life across formats. Even now, that is the greatest limited overs innings I've seen. It's crazy.
And he got run out in the most
Yeah.
you know
Shit.
awful fashion, I would say, because that he was literally making that game one-sided. I mean, they were
Yeah.
chasing something around 20 to 30 or something.
200
Sehwag
odd.
made
Yeah.
a
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and then Glenn Maxwell, I think he had that direct hit and he got run out, and CSK went on to lose that game.
Lose that match. Yeah.
That was 2014 season. Yeah, yeah. So I
Yeah.
think before that, they won 2010. 2011
Yeah.
was a kind of flawless season
Yeah.
for MS. Again, he had won India the World Cup in 2011. So
Yeah.
2011 was like really, really special. And then he again went on to win that IPL season as well. Defeating RCB in the finals. Again, they
Yeah. Yeah. That's heartbreaking for any RCB fan. I still remember the so much hopes on Gale, and he gets out in the first over to Ashwin. And what a master stroke, right? Getting Ashwin in that first over. Like you knew that Dhoni's up to something, and you knew that Gale don't be out, don't be out, don't be out, and he gets out. And like, oh shit, it's so difficult now.
Yeah, talking about his captaincy again. I mean, he was
Yeah,
a winning captain in 2011, but in 2010
yeah,
also he got in the final against Mumbai Indians. He got Pollard where he kept Matthew Hayden almost behind the bowler. If you remember that
okay,
pretty straight mid off, he kept, because he knew that Pollard has had this tendency to sort of hit down the ground
okay.
straight, and he got caught in the similar region. So I think MS was always really shrewd and very,
Yeah,
very clever, very, very tactical and gutsy, I would say. So that was always the case with him. 2011 again, like I mentioned, was sort of a flawless season. 20
yeah,
and after then, I think in 2012, 2013, they lost back-to-back finals. Again, they were in the finals. 2012, they lost to KKR. Again, KKR was really,
Yeah,
really fabulous in that particular season. They had
yeah,
roped in the likes of Narayan and Iqbal Abdullah was also there.
yeah,
Manvinder Pisla played that unbelievable knock. I think once
yeah.
in a one lifetime kind of knock. Uh, play and CSK lost that game. But again, in 2013 as well, again they reached the finals. They choked in the finals against MI. So that's the case with CSK. Between 2009 till 2015, they made all
Mm,
the playoffs. They were
yeah.
there in the final four in on all the occasions, right? So that is something
Yeah.
remarkable.
And Champions League also. There's a Champions League, some
Yeah, they
trophy
won a
was
couple
there,
of
right?
Champions League. Yeah, yeah, they won
Yeah,
that in
yeah,
2010.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So complete dominance by that team. Yeah,
I mean, that it's hard to put down in words, man. How good they were, how consistent they were. And then 2016, 17, I think they were not there, and it was really unfortunate being a CSK fan, sort of not seeing Chennai Super Kings in the IPL. It was
yeah,
heartbreaking. Where when MS played for rising Pune Super Giants in those couple of seasons, and I think it did not go well as well. Uh, you know, I think and 2018 is by far the most memorable season for me as an IPL fan, as a CSK fan, because CSK made a comeback along with RR obviously, and the first game itself against Mumbai where Bravo played that knock, I think they were 5 or 6 down pretty quickly, and then Bravo made 80 odd or something. I don't exactly remember the score, and that set up the tournament for CSK. And in that 2018 season, MS was scoring left, right, and center. I remember he had a game at Chinnaswamy where these guys were chasing close to 200, and MS played that last over Corey Anderson. He smacked him for six over deep mid wicket.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I know you can remember
No,
that.
I'm intensely forgetting that. Yeah. No, I mean, I remember watching some behind the scenes after they won the trophy. There was some very emotional scenes, right? When all the players won the trophy and they all came back as under CSK banner again. You could feel the emotion of Dhoni. You could feel the emotion of Fleming. You could feel that okay, they're back home. They want to win this. The fans have been loyal. The fans have been waiting,
Yeah.
and the team delivered. Right? Surprise! Is that the finals where Watson performed? I can't recollect now.
Yes, yes, yes. That's the
Okay.
one. He
Hmm.
smacked. I mean, FRH was there in the finals, and it was a one-sided chase by CSK. And I think even before the season started, when there was some show CSK show going on, and where
Yeah.
Dhoni literally cried, like
Yeah. Yeah. Correct.
Rana sort of got water for him, and all those things happened. You
Correct.
know that it's a very emotional thing for him as well. He's
It's
someone who
not just a
doesn't.
team, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like a family now. Yeah.
it's more than a family actually. In the way they manage their squad, I think it's a case study. You see
Hmm.
the other successful sites like MI and KKR, they have got a very different way of managing things, right? MI is like really the owners are right there in this under the skin of the players. They are sort of micromanaging the entire
Yeah.
squad, if I can use the word. And on the
Yeah.
other hand, CSK, there have been players who have played for both CSK and MI, like the likes of Raidu, Harbhajan. They've clearly mentioned, okay, at CSK, nobody comes and tell you कि यार ये करना है वो करना है. Everybody should. It's just the basic understanding that okay, the players are uh, most of them are international cricketers and they know
Yeah.
what they're supposed to do. So I think that's the way they sort of do their job, and the combination of Dhoni and Fleming is just amazing. I think uh, that's been a recipe of success, and then they've got the additional support of the likes of say Michael Hussey and all those players. So over the years, I
Yeah.
think they have stayed with their stuck with their core. They've stayed with their core, not only in the lineup but also in terms of the coaching staff as well. When you
Yeah.
see the likes of DC and Punjab and all those guys, making changes in their support staff and the coaching staff every other year. Then we have a
Yeah.
CSK squad who literally has got the same core in terms of their coaching staff as well,
Yeah.
which is remarkable.
No, no, you hit on the nail on the head. Actually, I remember like we have discussed earlier as well, right? The fact that like Watson, for example. he was playing in RCB earlier, right, before 2018, and we were thinking, come on, man, what's Watson doing? He's done. He's not playing anything. He's not doing anything good for RCB also. And suddenly he moves to CSK and he wins the trophy for them. And here everybody was writing off Watson, and that's been a pattern, right? Guys who have probably been written off in other teams, they come to CSK and they perform like as if they're legends.
Yeah.
Like we have so many examples of that, right? We have Uttappa, we have Rahane, we have again Watson,
You got
Nehra,
Vardy.
everything. Raidu again, yeah, Raidu, Nehra, Harbhajan, all these guys they suddenly perform so well in CSK. It's like you said, right? It has to be an environment. It can't be. See, they're all people who have been playing well in across. They're all talented, but that environment with CSK gives them to perform as a family, as a team. Be like you
Yeah.
said, maybe no micromanagement, maybe it's just that freedom you're given. You like you said that they're all established players. They know their jobs. They know their roles. Just do it. Just go perform. That's it. And if you stick to your talent, if you stick to your basics, I remember Dhoni is a big man of process, right? You stick to your process, you will get the results. And CSK is a perfect example of that.
Yeah, yeah. I think that the bang on Sulish because, and like you mentioned, it's not only about the Indian players, even their foreign
Hmm.
recruits. If you start from that 2008, 2009 season, obviously there were certain big names like Matthew Hayden, Michael Hussey, and Murli, but there were certain
Yeah,
other players like Albie Morkel. I mean, he was not
yeah,
an established cricketer. He was a good T20 cricketer. But
yeah.
if you compare Albie Morkel of CSK versus Albie Morkel of South Africa, there is
South
vast
Africa.
difference.
Yeah,
He's not been
yeah,
able to establish himself as a proper international cricketer under the South African this thing. But at CSK,
correct.
he was more than a match winner for them. Then
Yeah,
you got I mean, Michael Hussey was their one of the top performers for CSK
yeah,
till good 2013-14 season, right? And then
correct.
then they roped in Faf du Plessis in the 2012
Yeah,
season. That was his debut season, and
debut
the
season.
entire,
Yeah,
I mean, he was known as a test batter, and then he
yeah,
went on to become probably the legend of the game, one of the
yeah,
legends of the IPL, and that shows what CSK management brings brings on the table. You've got so
yeah.
many examples, like you mentioned, Rahane, Shivam Dubey, Ambati
Oh
Raidu.
yeah, Shivam Dubey, another reject, right? Like sucked in almost every team he has played.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, Shivam Dubey is a perfect example how he went on to become a match winner for India. Forget about
for India.
the
He played for
IPL,
yeah the World Cup. Yeah,
and
yeah.
I feel
I knew
always
I
get
know you
excited.
mentioned
Yeah,
you
yeah,
mentioned Faf, right? I think I read this somewhere that CSK had identified Faf before Faf even made his debut for South Africa. Like they had like it came through a talent this thing what do you call pool they had, and they were
yeah.
identifying him that early itself. So that shows that their knack for talent. I mean, and that particular scouting group, that management group, they've always stayed together. And you know that like in every auction, right? The CSK mamas uncles will be sitting on the in the table, and they'll be having one call to Dhoni always. And you know that the shots are being called by Dhoni, but he's not there. He'll never become. But it's so accurate. It's so perfect. They'll always end up getting that perfect Dhoni squad every year.
That is so true. I mean, this. I mean, the list is endless to be honest, Sulesh. You know, with these
Which
guys.
season was the Dad's Army season? Which season was that?
That Army was 2023, I think, the last where they defeated Gujarat Titans in the
Okay,
final.
okay,
And before that, there were also one more season where Rituraj Gaikwad and Faf du Plessis were the two top scorers in that season, 2021 season.
oh yeah,
So
yeah,
they had a
yeah,
terrible 2020 season where they
yeah,
finished seventh or eighth, I think. Uh,
yeah,
Seventh, I think they finished, which the season was won by Mumbai. They defeated DC in the finals, and then they made a comeback in the next season again in 2021, defeating KKR if I'm not wrong. And
yeah,
when that 2020 season, where the famous quote of Dhoni, definitely not. He said in the final, toss to Danny Morrison. I think that was Danny at the toss. And then 2021, 2023, nobody gave them a chance. I mean, that has been the CSK thing, right?
yeah,
On
yeah,
paper, you might feel that there are at least four or five teams who look better or stronger on paper,
yeah.
but when it comes to the actual tournament, I think they are just unbelievable. They are in a way New Zealand, but they end up winning trophies as well, unlike New Zealand. So
Yeah, yeah,
that's how
and
it
and,
works for
and
them.
like you mentioned this in brief, right? That CSK is always focused on a good opening pair,
Yeah,
and they've had that start is very crucial for them. And one of the reasons why they didn't play well last season was primarily because of that. They never got their opening combination right. I mean, I think Gaikwad also didn't score. But otherwise, if you look from the beginning, from Hayden, what do you call Murli Vijay, Faf,
Michael.
Watson,
Watson,
Mike
yeah.
Hussey, then Faf and Gaikwad, and then Gaikwad and Conway. They've always had that very good opening partnership, and obviously betting on spin, right? He's always
Yeah.
been a good backer of spin, and the Chepauk. I mean, they know the Chepauk pitch like anybody. Like they've made it a fortress, and they know spin is the best way to win a match in Chepauk. And they've always had those great knack of spinners, right? I mean, be it an Imran Tahir, be it an Ashwin Jadeja in the beginning, they've always had those guys who have come and performed really well as spinners. Yeah.
I think they believe in horses for courses strategy. So they spin
Mm.
has always been a strong point, which obviously because they have to play 50% of their games at
Yeah,
Chepauk, which is
yeah,
probably the obvious thing to do. But again, on top of that, there have been a lot of all-rounders, in the
yeah,
squad as well, which Dhoni
yeah,
probably has used them very well. We started from Alpi Morkel,
yeah,
he was pretty amazing. Then off late, you see the likes of Shivam Dube, although because the impact rule, he did not get much of an opportunity to ball. But again, the likes of Deepak Chahar, I think we are forgetting Deepak Chahar. Deepak
yeah.
Chahar has played a crucial role for them in the last couple of tournaments which they won. I think it has been pretty pretty smart
Bravo,
by
one
the
of the
again in this
greatest.
year.
Yeah, Bravo as well, one of the greatest IPL all rounders. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, obviously DJ Bravo. I mean,
yeah,
uh, he was in Mumbai for the first 2 or 3 seasons,
yeah,
but I
yeah.
think since 2011 or something, he moved to CSK, and I mean, the result is
What a
for
legend.
every. I think he's probably the greatest all rounder of
Yeah,
IPL, without a doubt. I
IPL.
think no doubting
Without
that.
a-
Uh, you
Yeah,
know, and again in this year's IPL auction as well, you saw that they had a strategy in mind. They
yeah.
had a plan, and again they have made a solid squad for this time as well. And I won't be surprised. I know Rituraj is leading, but again every time we say that, but this might be MS's final season, and
Yeah.
I have a CSK sort of end up winning this one. We might see the end of Dhoni after this one.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, every year we think it's the end. At least the opposition teams hope it's the end. I know you guys don't want it to end, but yeah, I mean, see, as long as you know Dhoni is there, as long as Dhoni's wicket is not gone, you know CSK has a chance. And even at the age of 40, 41, 42, whatever he is, when he comes into bat, it's just mayhem. He just goes after the ball now. That's how the way he plays, right? He's no more. He doesn't play slow anymore. He just attacks from the ball one, and he gets what hardly 5, 7 balls, 10 balls
I
every
think
inning. That's how he
that's
plays,
it.
right? Yeah. Yeah,
Even the last
and
Wednesday, we lost to RCB at Chinnaswamy. I think he was the one who
oh,
smacked that 110. You were there at the stadium.
I was there, the stadium, dude. I went out and I took a break. I was like, I can't handle this. It's so much pandemonium. I went out. I come back. The what I see and look up the ball. Look up. The ball's going outside the stadium. I'm like, why did I come back? Why did I come? What am I coming back to see? And fortunately, he gets out of the next ball itself, right? I think the next ball, or was it?
I mean,
Yeah, I
that's
think the next
because
ball.
that's where the rustiness comes to the picture. Had it been
Yeah,
MS of like
yeah.
8, 10 years ago, and then he would have
Yeah.
smoked that one as well
That also
without
correct.
any doubt.
No,
Uh,
no, no, correct. I mean, yeah, definitely. And again, like even in this auction, they have focused on good spinners, right? Ashwin is back. That's a great news, right? I mean, Ashwin, a Chennai boy, and he's retired for India, but he's coming back to his home ground, his home team. I mean, CSK, and they have Jadeja, and they have Noor Ahmed this time. Again, a
yeah,
good spin attack is what I feel this time, and I think they'll be banking on that attack. And I think what Patirana's back.
yeah.
I don't
Patirana
know
is
who's the
there.
other fast bowler. Yeah.
Yeah, so they've picked Anshul Kamboj as well.
Oh yeah, Anshul Kambuch. Very,
In
very
recent,
promising youngster.
pretty, yeah. He's got Nathan Ellis is also there in the
Yeah, yeah,
CSK
I
squad
think
as well.
Nathan Harrison. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think this squad is pretty well balanced, and I think one point which I wanted to discuss is is on MS Dhoni. I think
Mm,
MS Dhoni from is really important not only to CSK but for the IPL as well,
yeah,
from the commercial aspect, right? And
yeah,
you see that everyone just stops. I mean, even if he's coming out to bat for 2 or 3 balls, even the hardcore fans, hardcore cricket, genuine cricket, test
yeah,
cricket fans like me, we are also sort of glued to TV. Okay, let's see what MS does in those 2 balls. So that such is the aura, such is the hype which is there around MS. And I'm pretty sure once he's done from the game, I think he'll definitely be part of CSK dugout in some way or the other. I think that's how the fan following has been built. The entire fan following has been built around MS. I think he's not going anywhere. Even after he retires, is what my hunch is.
yeah. I mean, they gave such an endearing nickname, right? Tala is leader, and such
Yeah,
an
true.
endearing thing, right? I mean, like we talk about the whole north south, Hindi and non Hindi, what are we're not getting into all those political discussions, but here is one guy, like you mentioned earlier, right, from the heartland of the Hindi heartland, and he's so loved by such a what do you call alien culture to him, and everybody loves him, everybody loves the emotion that's associated with Dhoni. And not just like you said, not just CSK fans, anybody who watches IPL, if Dhoni is batting, like you said, they will come and watch it. It's irrespective. And brand IPL is brand Dhoni to an extent, right? I mean, like how brand
Yeah.
Virat is brand RCB, CSK is also Dhoni, right? And even if they leave, even if he leaves, we really want to see Dhoni in that yellow shirt, like you said, as a mentor, or maybe as a coach, or maybe in the management itself. You never know, right? I mean, he holds positions in India Siemens as well, so maybe in some sort of capacity, you would love to see. You'd love to continue seeing Dhoni wear that yellow jersey.
And just to get back to that, the this year's lineup, I think they've also got a couple of great buys in Rahul Tripathi. I think who could be the next
Yeah,
Shivam Dube. I know he's a very talented player. He has been
yeah, yeah,
on and off with multiple franchises at KKR,
yeah,
SRH. He had a great season at Rising Pune Super Giants. His debut season where Dhoni was also there.
yeah,
So I expect him uh, to come good in this particular season, and let's see how it goes. Uh,
yeah.
to cut the long story short, I think again they might not look the strongest on paper, but again when it comes to the actual tournament, when it comes to the crunch situations, I think that these guys are gonna punch above their weight.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing that. And again, fingers crossed, hoping it's not Dhoni's last season.
We are keeping our fingers crossed, hoping that
Yeah,
that's gonna again the case. Thanks a lot, Suresh, man. We'll come back.
sure,
Probably we'll try and cover a few more teams before we sort of
sure.
the season starts. So yeah, take care. We'll see you guys
See
soon.
you.
Bye.